Many businesses will receive notices from the IRS, and there's usually two basic types of notices that come from the IRS. One is just a letter that says something doesn't add up on your return. We refer to those as nuisance letters because that's really what they are. It's just a nuisance, but you must respond. So it may be that your customer sent you a 1099 and reported a different kind of income than you put on your tax return. For instance, I had a client that received a 1099 from a customer that said that they paid my client rent. Well, it wasn't rent that they paid, but the IRS is looking for rent income on the tax return, and of course it didn't show up. So that's one type of notice. The other notice is the dreaded audit notice, and there are a couple different kinds of audits that can occur. You can have what we refer to as a desk audit, which means the IRS sends you a letter, says, I need some information about this, and you ship it off to the IRS, and then they respond back. There's another type of audit where they're actually going to come to your place of business, or you're going to go to the IRS's office to respond. But we've seen an increase in those lately, in that businesses that have been recognizing some losses in the past years, we're getting more letters from the IRS, and they're looking for two things. First of all, do you have the documentation for the expenses that you're reporting? But more importantly, are you actually in business? Are you trying to make a profit and just haven't been able to do so? Is this truly a business, or is this a hobby? And of course, there's great differences in the tax laws on how both of those items are treated. The other thing that we're seeing a lot of is the states are getting more aggressive in tracking down income and making sure that people are paying the appropriate state sales tax or state income tax or state payroll taxes even. And those are a little bit more concerning because many clients are confused about whether they're subject to tax in that state or not. Particularly if you're housed in one state but perhaps do business in another state, do you need to pay state sales tax in that state? Do you need to pay state income tax in that state? So responding to those notices becomes a lot more critical. You may end up becoming liable in a state that you really aren't liable for, just the way that you respond. When you get those kind of notices, make sure your CPA sees them, because even if it's not something that they need to respond to, they need to know about that kind of notice so you don't continue to get them year after year after year. So always make sure you talk to your CPA about it.